Hey, what's going on? I know I'm a little tardy for the party, but we in the building. Hey, what's up? Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that you guys have been able to join me this evening. Who's up in here? Hey, Martinique. Hey, Krista. Hey, Sasha. Hey, TT. Hey, Thrift Queen. Someone better come out of hiding. Y'all hilarious. Michelle choosing boots. Mahani. Hey, love bugs. What's up? I hope you're having a good morning, noon, night, whenever this video may reach you. Do your girl a favor and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can get that thing whenever I upload a new video. Let's try it again. Whenever I upload a new video. That was a little bit of it. Don't judge me too harshly. Hey, JV Illuminated One, Sabrina, Vivian, Miss Gemini, Lethea, The Diva, Bamboo, Bombastic Side-Eye, Criminal Offense Side-Eye. How's everybody doing? I hope that y'all are, have been having a good week so far. I watched the entirety of the interview. I know that I said I was going to come in, dissect part 1 and part 2, but I was like, I might as well just watch the complete thing. What's going on? What's going on? Can y'all see and hear me? Is everything good? Because Choosing Boo said, what's going on? Oh, because I said bombastic side-eye because Bamboo just made me go into that. I don't know. My mind thinks a little differently from the average person. Anyway, so part 1, right? So basically she was given the back history. We're talking about Danae Jaxon, the ex-wife of Derrick Jaxon, the relationship guru, the one, that's always in the muscle tight shirts with the popping out with the bright white tee, the dark chocolate skin. A lot of women, that's the aesthetic that they go for, especially in our community. If you look like that, you could get away with a lot, let me tell you. So in part 1, she gave backstory, right? Which is some of the things that we already knew. So we knew that they had met in high school. She felt like an ugly duckling. So she had the ugly duckling syndrome. She talks about being essayed and, not really dealing with that trauma and having abandonment issues and fear of rejection because her dad was, he passed away when she was 12 years old. And beforehand, she had issues kind of like with the stepmom and so on and so forth. So she kind of really never felt like she belonged. She wasn't really that much religious when they had first started dating. He made her feel pretty. He asked her if she was a model, and he love bombed her. He did what narcissists do. Y'all know I've been calling this man a narcissist. One of the tactics is love bombing. She said they talked on the phone all night, and then eventually they started love jonesing. He asked her to be his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. Narcissists also move very quickly, like they on some type of time clock. Like we got to get the ball rolling. So love bombing, moving super quick, just making you feel like you are the center of the universe. It's just a lot that goes into dating a narcissist. I will do a video on that because I've dealt with a couple of narcissists. So she also talks about how like she would cry in the closet and just hope and pray that he would find her and like console and comfort her. And she had always been going through his phone and like stalking women that he was cheating on her with, but she never said anything about it. She was very passive aggressive, and she considered herself to be toxic in a way that she handled situations. But the way that she like spoke about it, I feel like he kind of manipulated her into thinking that she was the problem, when in reality she was just reacting to what it is that he was doing. And clearly, like when you're 19 years old and you feel like an ugly duckling and you feel rejected and you don't really have a voice, you are, like I said, ripe for the picking for somebody that's going to emotionally and mentally abuse you and use you for their supply 101. And she was tutoring him. It also came out that she absolutely was instrumental in his business. Remember, I was like, oh, I would not be surprised if sis was helping him to write those books. She absolutely was helping him to book his gigs. She absolutely was helping him to assemble his team. She was literally behind the scenes. Like she was kind of like low key, maybe like the minds and the brains behind his whole operation. And she basically was like, I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week. Y'all remember Mary J. Blige when she was singing that song? We all done seen Waited to Exhale a time or two, and let me tell you, it was very much giving those vibes. And it was really sad how she just didn't regard her feelings. Like, she wanted this man so bad that at one point she admitted that, they had once the infidelities and stuff came out, fast forward, he had been with like over 100 women, like legit. And this is out the duration of them dating. Like, yeah, they took breaks in between, but she never stopped allowing him full access to her body ever. She never ever stopped. And once she like became pregnant with their first child, that's when she decided to like leave and do the like, oh, I gotta go. Like, you need to choose, you need to make a choice. And we discussed this, like she would like literally tag team with the mistresses, and one would be coming and she would be going, and she just became obsessed with this man. And she said that she wouldn't say anything out of fear of rejection, and she didn't want him to leave her. And it's just so sad to see how her self-esteem was in the dumps, and how her self-worth was just non-existent. And she really, like I've said, this man was the god of her life. He was the center of her universe. And this is why I'm always saying, for women, we have to create our own worlds, and we really do have to establish boundaries. She had absolutely none. And when a man gets you that young, that's why these scrub the ground and then just be out here preaching about you need somebody that's 22. That's because she has no agency over her body. She does not know how to say no. She's more than likely a people pleaser. She's fresh out the womb. She has no sense of self. No sense of self-worth. She hasn't created her own world. So it's so easy to merge with a man, and like play the back burner and be the come up woman. And like Danae has been doing, helping him to run his business, and absolutely just know your role, shut your mouth. And you don't even know. And this is, I'm gonna say this too, because I was with my high school sweetheart for 10 years, right? A little nugget about me. And we took a break at like the 5-year mark, but we always maintained, communications with each other or whatnot. But we took a break and we got back together. And I was always this, but on steroids when I was like fucking 20. And at every point, it was always, you need to dumb yourself down. Like, you need to hang back. He needs to shine because he was like a superstar singer. Like, he was dope, but so was I. And because I, didn't have my own world established, I didn't have my boundaries, I didn't really know who I was. I knew who I was, but I didn't understand who I was. Everybody was telling me and everybody saw it, but it was kind of like, you're a part of the entourage, you're a part of the team, you're here to be a helpmate. It really much gave, it gave that. And she also spoke about how her being in that position made her develop hatred and resentment. And I can relate to the resentment part. I never hated my ex, but resentment absolutely brewed, and it absolutely bubbled over into me being mean, like I was a bitch. Like, I didn't even know how he dealt with me. I don't know. But and I didn't know any better. I really didn't. I didn't have the tools to efficiently communicate. I didn't understand that. So I would just act out. Like, it was just, like Danae was saying, passive aggressive, like just always being depressed. Like, I just was so unhappy being in that relationship because my needs weren't fulfilled. It was like I was just literally like not even a co-star, but like kind of like an extra in somebody else's movie. And I always say to you guys, like, you are the fucking star of your movie. Your world absolutely should revolve around you. Don't let anybody come in and try to trick you out your spot so that they could have the starring role in your movie, which is your life. That's not how any of this is supposed to work. And a lot of us are walking around miserable, broke, busted, and disgusted because we're not happy playing an extra. It doesn't feel good, especially when you're a superstar. You're supposed to shine bright like a diamond. And as a young woman, you are supposed to have room for trial and error. You're supposed to have room to explore. And this is not me saying that you should be out fucking and sucking. That's not what I'm saying at all. But just, exploring yourself, like trying new things. And when you're young and you're tethered to a man that's like a powerhouse, he kind of wants you to just fit into his life, and he's going to use you because you're a resource. And we don't really look at ourselves as resources, especially because, in our world, we equate being a resource directly to having money, you know what I mean? And super fucking status. Now we're in like the social media digital era. So if you don't have like buku followers and subscribers, then you don't really look at yourself as resourceful, when that's not really all that it means to be resourceful. Your energy. Women are, we inspire, we nurture, we do a lot when we love somebody. We literally create worlds, and we literally, like, she was helping with content. I did stuff like that too. And it gets diminished and it gets like reduced to basically nothing, because at the end of the day, you ain't the face, So once again, suffering in silence, suffering in silence. You thought she was older than that? Yeah, she's young. She's young. But like I said, like, yeah, we do too much. We do too much. Absolutely. The thing is, we allow, we are these beacons of lights, we are these energy sources, and we allow bloodsuckers, energy vampires, narcissists to just come and fucking suck us dry in the name of love. And stemming from childhood, when you do have abandonment issues, which a lot of us do have, because let's be honest, in our community, a lot of our dads were not in the household. Some were, and even if your dad wasn't, my dad wasn't in the household with me. When he was, he did come around. I'm not going to say I had an absentee father, because that would be a fucking lie. He was a part of my life, but he wasn't there the way that I know that I needed him now that I'm an adult and I've been through therapy, and I have a better lease on life, and I understand like my mental state and why I've gone through certain things. It's because I didn't have the protection in the way that I needed it. You know what I mean? Like having a part-time dad, and then your mom is part-time because she's working. Anyways, it just goes into a lot as to how we value ourselves when we become women, and when we are like released into the world. It has a lot to do with how you were brought up. But we all go through things, but it's up to you to be resilient. It's up to you to recognize that you have work to do, to unpack your trauma, to unpack your baggage, and to heal yourself before, once again, I'm going to keep preaching this to the choir, before you decide to merge worlds with a man, because a man will fucking swallow you up, use you up. Your ass will be like a motherfucking prune once you leave that relationship sucked dry. Sucked dry. Pause. Yeah, you gotta go through it to get through. Yep. And then you gotta grow through it too. You gotta grow through it. He's been quiet all 2023 because how do you come back from this? Like, I'm gonna play, I have a couple timestamps from the part 2 that I wanted us to delve into a little bit, because she touched on some things that I just was like, damn, like, and once again, we are not alone in our struggles. We're not alone on our healing journey. You look to the left, you look to the right, you're bound to find another woman that looks like you, with a similar background, that has similar experiences. And that's how we heal. That's how we grow. We could use each other. You know what I mean? To just to know that you're not alone makes it easier for you to face your fucking demons. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, just to know that you have kindred spirits, and just to know that you have a good sis that knows what you're going through, it makes it less embarrassing, it makes it less humiliating, and it makes it easier for you to even like start to unpack that. So we're gonna head on over to yeah, truth. It does hurt. It does. It's true. Yeah. I'm so glad that y'all are in the building tonight. And she had a really good support. She did. Yeah. Preach Love Jones. Yes, yes. Call me Preacher Jones, Sister Jones. Yes, yes. Follow me, y'all. Okay, so we about to head on over to YouTube. Shouts out to the podcast is called The Wifey. I'm gonna play a little bit of a visual, but I don't want to do too much because I don't want to get a copyright strike, because y'all already know it's all about the motherfucking the cash. The bag matters. I got things that I want to do, and this is a job at the end of the day. So shouts out to dear future wifey. And this is where she basically starts to talk about the fact that they had a home, I think like a 900,000 square foot or 9,000. I don't know exactly. I can't remember. But they had a mansion pretty much. And he decided to also have a condo when they were living in Atlanta. And he said it's because he wanted to work in peace, because at the time they had 2 children, and which is BS. And the host, he basically said, y'all got a mansion. Like, he could have built himself a wing in the mansion to work and to have quiet. He could have soundproofed the room. Like, how many artists do y'all know that have mansions in their homes and they soundproof it so that they could peacefully record, and they have kids and all types of people running in and out. So this was just a layer for him to cheat in peace. Period, point blank.
And I didn't really tell him because he was, you know, he's at the condo working. so he's out, you know, he's providing, and I'm out here.
Give you that nice little soft life you live in.
Yes. And I'm like, yes.
So you can have 3 therapists and
exactly. Listen, shout out to all 3 of them therapists. They had their work cut out for them. And yes, so.
And so what was the...
Notice how he said she lived a soft life. These are all of the things that they tell us to strive for as melanin rich women, you know? And she had 3 therapists. 3. Like, bruh. I'm not knocking it because I'm an advocate for therapy. Like I've said to you guys time and time again, I have a therapist. I haven't seen her in a while because I've been doing okay. But, you know, and you don't even have to be going through something in the moment to like just unpack your shit. But I just wanted to point that out. Like, this is what they tell us to strive for. It's like automatically you're cloaked with like, you're exempt from going through fuckery because you're living a soft life that your husband has, you know, provided, and you're married. That's bullshit. Let me.
Breaking point for you to get up and leave and go to Denver.
So when he said I was crazy, because I'm like, you need to be delivered and we need to go now, and this is what needs to happen.
So he called your mom and you said, forget it, I'm going.
I was like, it took a couple of days. And I was like, okay, I feel like I can't just leave. So I'm like, okay, we need to go to therapy. We need to work this out. And I'm texting him because he's like not answering my calls. He's like, if you come to the condo, I'm going to call the police on you. All these, I'm like, okay.
Did y'all hear that? This man threatened to call the popo on his wife if she rolled up at the condo, because she did mention how she would just start popping up unannounced because she was in this big mansion. And that's what I told y'all the last time we was talking about this. Barefoot and pregnant. A man will keep you in a house with the children. He will isolate you. And she also spoke about how she isolated herself from her family because her mom did not approve, because her mother saw that he was a dirty dog and was trying to save her daughter. But when you think you're in love, when you're soul tied, when you're dignitized, you can't see anything outside of that until you're like fully outside of the situation. Now she's in a space where she could see how ridiculous this all sounds. Like, even just talking about it, she's like, what the fuck? Like, bruh, like, what? You left her in the house. She barely saw him, and they were in the same city, same state, but he was at his condo because he was having whole girlfriends. And this is another thing I was talking to y'all about, where people be like, oh, a side bitch, a side this. Men be having girlfriends, just period. It ain't nobody on the side. If he had a condo, you think another woman wasn't shacked up in that condo? And then he probably just was like, oh, I got to go handle business, so I got to go do this, and went to see her maybe once or twice out of the week. It's just terrible. It's just,
I was texting them. I'm like, okay, we have to figure out how to work this out. The best way for us to do this is for you to come here and we can figure it out. Like,
yeah.
And he was basically like, I'm not coming back there. Like, I would rather be separated from you than to be miserable with you in the same house. And I was like, Mom, my bags are packed. When can you be here? And she was on the flight the next morning, flew in, and we drove, or I can't even say we drove. I drove like 80 miles an hour to
all
Denver.
The way from Atlanta to Denver.
Yeah.
So here she's basically talking about when she finally had enough and she decided, like, I'm going to leave him because it hurt her too bad. She couldn't take it. Like, it just hurt too bad. And then she was all alone. You know, like, her mom clearly was in Denver and she was in Atlanta. Clearly, I'm sure she had a cleaning service. She did mention that. And this is what I be telling y'all too. People with that bag do not be doing all that domestic work. They lie to you like a Persian rug. It never gave that. It never gave that. Ain't no way you could clean a whole fucking mansion. No, they hire help. So I'm sure she probably had like a sitter maybe at a time or two. But for the most part, she was, in the words of Sinji, a married single mother.
Yes.
How long is that trip?
It's a 24-hour drive. I drove the first 15 hours pretty much straight through. She had to force me to stop driving.
You were just motivated on adrenaline.
I was adrenaline, and I was just like so upset. And then I was kind of scared too, because I'm like, I can't believe like I'm actually doing this. He's gonna freak out when he realizes that I'm gone, because I didn't say anything. I didn't send my phone was actually right. My phone was actually turned off at the time because there was like a little financial crisis that started happening around that time too. So my phone was actually turned off. So I was like, this is perfect.
You ain't just slide by that financial crisis, had your phone cut off.
My phone was cut off at the
live in a
time.
9,000 square foot house and your phone get cut off.
He was working at the condo, so
that is what got me, y'all. How the fuck? Your husband is a millionaire. Y'all have a 9,000 square foot mansion. He's in a condo. You're working for him and your fucking cell phone is off. That is what you call financial abuse. So she done been through emotional abuse, mental abuse, and financial abuse. She just basically spelled it out. He was in control of the finances, although she was fucking working for him. She was working for him. He was not paying her because that's what men do. They use you up. They suck up all your resources. They suck up your youth. They suck up your beauty. They use you up and leave you in a fucking state of being a shriveled up prune. And then they be on to the next. How she didn't have a wage? Why wasn't she getting paid through his company? She was just working like, and she even mentioned too, she was like, oh, well, I didn't know that when you're the provider financially, you don't have to do absolutely anything else. Like, she was making a joke and she's being really like jokey because I'm sure she has to laugh to keep from crying. But this is a lot of things that we have to consider. Just because a man is the head of the household and he's, seemingly financing all of the bills, if you're working for him, you deserve to get a livable wage, sis. I'm not working. I'm not assembling your team. I'm not doing the books keeping. She was literally like, if somebody called and had a customer service, she was doing all of these things for his business, yet her phone could just be off at any time because they were having financial problems. Why wasn't he paying you? What? This whole situation is just like, it makes me so upset, y'all. Like, it really does.
It could have been a financial crisis, just oversight of the bill being paid.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a 9,000 square foot house.
I don't know. I wasn't even involved with the finances, so that's what I've been told. So
you've been told?
Yeah, because I wasn't involved in it.
He just told you what?
It's a financial crisis.
When there's nothing holding you back, what would
y'all, oh my God, this is making me so upset. Like, she was working for this man, rearing and raising his children, and he couldn't even make sure her cell phone bill was always paid.
Financial crisis.
Define it. Define it, because there was sure a Lamborghini.
That's what I'm saying. And Bentley sitting up here doing car videos with a Bentley.
There was a lot of stuff. So I don't know where it all went, but we had a financial crisis and my phone was turned off. So at that time it was turned off. And
well, how long was it cut off? About a couple hours?
Days.
See, I don't understand that.
Days. And so it kind of worked out because then he can immediately call me, and my mom's not answering the phone. So there's that. But by the time I actually got to Denver, he was already there. So
he was
doing what a narcissist does. You couldn't come and visit, not even visit. You couldn't come home when I was in the state with your kids, but you could get on a plane and fly to where I'm going. Once I tell you I'm going to leave your funky ass, and you could beat me there. Oh my God.
Was.
That's what they do. They panic when you threaten to cut off their supply.
He flew down there while y'all was driving.
He flew, and he was at my mom's old address because he had looked her stuff up online and went to her old address. Didn't realize that she had moved. And so he was at the wrong address, and I called him when I got there. I was like, okay, at minimum, I could call him when I'm actually there.
Yeah.
Let him know. He's like, I need, like, let's talk. He's standing outside. I'm outside. I'm like, outside where? And it's snowing, and he's like, I'm outside, let's talk. And I'm like, she doesn't even live there anymore. And I'm like, I don't think I should be coming out right now. Like, we just got off the road, and my mom is in the background, like, you just got off the road, you are not going anywhere. And then she's on the phone with
I want to throw this out there too, like, she also, like, she spoke, and I think this is part one, about being married and how it meant the world to her, and how she was basically like, my man, it's Mrs. Jaxon to you, it's Miss Jaxon if you're nasty. Like, she was just so excited to be his wife, and she felt like she won the prize because he was sleeping with hundreds of women. She was in rotation until she got pregnant for the 4th time, because she also talked about how she had 3 terminations, and she was like, God dealt with me, and I was like, I can't do this again. Being married, she was married and still wasn't enough. Still felt like she needed to be chose. Still just being a fucking pick-me-sha. It's sad.
someone and shit. They're like, you get off that phone. He can wait. Right. And which then brought in a whole nother dynamic, because it's like, your mom is controlling your behavior and your actions, and she's keeping you away and telling you what to say and what to do. So then that became a whole nother dynamic. And I'm just like,
being manipulative. So I'm going to skip ahead to another part, but she goes on to finish and basically say he would come to visit every month or every couple weeks or whatever. And she basically saw him more when she moved than she saw him when she was in the same state, which is what gets me. Because what? And she's like, oh, he started going to the ministry, to the church, and I told him he had to do a few things for me to even consider taking him back. He had to change his number. He couldn't see certain people. Girl, him changing his number don't mean a goddamn thing. First of all, they got vanish mode on Instagram. You could text people on Instagram on vanish mode and you would never know a thing. It doesn't leave a trace. Snapchat, vanish mode. Oh boy, it gets me. Like, I just, we give a lot of chances. We constantly make excuses. We really think that these dudes are going to change when they really not. A man ain't gonna change for nobody but himself. And it just is what it is. And when a person shows you who they are, the
podcaster, content creator,
you gotta believe them. And I know it's hard. And I do be saying sometimes, like, you gotta use the source of your pain and suffering to get over your pain and suffering. But I guess he oh my God. Let me just play this part too.
It counted as sex for some reason in other conversations.
So she basically here was saying how he would sleep with other women, but he would say, oh, she just gave me head, so it don't count. Oh, it wasn't really sex. We didn't really have sex. And some people do feel like oral don't count. Which I put a 1 in the chat if oral counts as cheating. 1 for yes, oral counts. 2 for no, oral don't count. 1 for yes, oral counts as cheating. 2 for no. One. So it's yes. It counts as cheating. My whole thing is, if we are in a committed monogamous relationship, if I am your wife, you should not be nowhere with no woman naked doing anything inappropriate with a woman. Now, if we're dating, we're not monogamous. Like, the rules change once you get married and move in together. Like, I don't understand how people, once we have a discussion and we decide that this is what we're doing and it's just me and you're not supposed to be putting your mouth nowhere and nobody's supposed to be putting their mouth anywhere. Like, when we're committed and it's just me and you, it's just me and you, period. How could she let this man sit up in her face and be like, well, oral don't count? And that's her husband. Like, it's a difference if y'all just talking, y'all just figuring it out. If y'all want to be with each other, y'all just trying to, test the water. If y'all really like each other like that, that is different. but this is your husband. And it just makes me like, oh my God, could you imagine, like, he had no respect for her body. And men like that, they sleep around unprotected. He gives very much, he doesn't use a condom vibes. And if you're sleeping with this many women unprotected, you don't have no respect for your wife's body. Marriage doesn't mean commitment to a black man. Yep. And I watched Cynthia G's take on this, and I was like, this shit was so on point. She basically was saying that this lady is a pick-me-sha in her marriage. You still got to compete while you're married. That is gotta be so, that is the pits of hell. Take me out of town if I gotta be that desperate and thirsty for my motherfucking husband. First of all, she allowed him to have a harem of women. She didn't speak up for herself because she just was so thirsty and desperate to be in a relationship and to my man. I got a ring though, I'm married. Bitch, that don't mean shit. You look like a fool. You're getting played for a fool. And he kept hurting her. It's not like she really was just okay with it and they had an open relationship and she was doing her thing too. That wasn't the case at all. That shit was breaking her down mentally, physically, and emotionally. She also spoke about how when she was at her mom's house, she was like a shell. Like she was basically on borderline anorexic. She didn't eat. She couldn't sleep. And she stayed with her mom for 8 months. That's a long time to be away from your husband. Could you imagine what he was? Oh my God. Ooh, that man, that's a demon. That's a demon. That is a demon.
So we had to get very specific. So I was very clear. Hey, when I say zero, I mean nothing. I mean, like, I don't want like no friend, like everybody. I don't care what business connection they are. I don't care what their status is. I don't care how many followers they have.
Yeah.
I don't care. All of them need to be gone.
Facts.
And so,
but for everything was going great.
It was going
2020
well.
till when?
Well, everything was going well until the Tasha
video.
K came out with all the stuff. And that was in March of 2021. And so from there it was just like everything just came back up to the surface again, like
was
fresh,
that new to
open
you?
wounds.
But when she revealed in 2021, was you blindsided by that?
No, because he had already confessed to the 11 women that he had been with.
Did y'all hear what she said? She was not blindsided. She already knew. She was already laying down and taking it. But because it came out in the public and Derrick Jaxon with his narcissistic ass only gives a fuck about his image, his public persona, that is the only reason why he came out and made it seem like he was trying to be on the men with his wife and make it work and oh, woe is me and she don't deserve that and I love my wife and I'm gonna be here for my family and I'm a family man and holding her hand, making her look the fuck crazy with her bonnet of salvation like she just came out the halfway house. It was very giving much. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. If Tasha K wouldn't have came out and exposed him and did that expose, she would have still been laying down and taking it. He would. Yep, sleeping with the enemy vibes, that part. It's just the lack of like self-respect and self-worth. And I know I keep saying this over and over, but it really, we gotta get better at like loving ourselves and respecting ourselves and knowing that we deserve better and feeling worthy of what we actually desire. And instead of settling and just laying down and taking it and allowing men to use and abuse you. It's just so sad. It really is. And I was looking in the comments of this video. Do y'all know how many women was like, yes, oh my God, it's a testament to strength and it's a this. And so many women have been through this. It's like, what the hell? That's what I keep saying. You look to the left, you look to the right. Your story is not special, sis. And who is the common denominator with all of us having to go through all of this traumatizing shit? Who's traumatizing and terrorizing us? Who's doing it? Because the majority of us don't step outside of the culture. We don't step outside like that. Disgusted. Yes, I'm absolutely disgusted. He's disgusting.
Which the 2 that were on there, or the 3 that were on there, had already been on his list of people that he gave me. And we had already been working on dealing with it and all of that. And so that information wasn't new. But what happens is that, you know, it uncovers that wound all over again, right?
Yeah.
Because now not only on a private level, but now on a public level. And so now it's like open wound all over again. And then at that time, just 2 days before that, we found out we were expecting our 3rd child. Literally the day it was released on that platform, we were at his stepfather's wake. And so we're dealing with grief, we're dealing with expecting our next child, and now we're dealing with this all at the same time. And then it's like that following Monday, we're on camera, and I'm like, it's a helmet of salvation. Yes, this is what's needed right now. That's all I got. Right? All I know is it's a spiritual attack. Helmet of salvation. That's all I got. It's protect your mind. Right now, my mind is being attacked, and I need something better than therapy.
You know what? A lot of people don't understand this too. Is that you're in the midst of trauma. A lot of times people.
So this lady was pregnant. They were grieving, and all of this was happening. And he made her do that video for damage control. He didn't give a fuck about nobody but himself. That's a selfish, self-centered ass man. And he is gonna get what's coming to him, because karma always comes to collect. And basically she goes on to say, like, this is what really got her like super into God and into the word, because she was actually in a space of self-deletion, because she had never been in front of the camera. She never experienced this. And she said that he was showing her videos of Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant when they had the cheating scandal, and telling her, oh, you need to do this and you need to sit up. And he started going into coach mode and hiring people to basically try to Olivia Pope the situation after he saw and got like the backlash from him just putting her out there. Why wouldn't you have her coach? That all should have happened beforehand if y'all was going to do this together. Child, I just cannot.
This year, Bunny Slow.
So we're going to get into the next part where she basically talks about, like, you know, how she felt about her daughter's complexion, and how she basically just was like, it was hard for her to parent her child. Oh my God, this woman is severely damaged. And she claims that she didn't have mental health issues, but clear as day, she was suffering from a lot. She said that she had only had postpartum depression, which was really hard. I'm not a mom. I have never like had a child, so I don't know what that's like, but I've been depressed before, you know, I have an anxiety and stuff. So I could just imagine having to go through that, having small children and then being pregnant. And it's just, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. She needs lifetime counseling. Yes. Hey, Norris.
What affected me in that little segment of his post was referencing that, even down to our daughter. Like I had some issues, like just like with the complexion of our daughter, because that was the type of woman that he would go after. And I'm not dark, like super dark skinned woman. And our daughter's like a little chocolate little princess. She has it, you know, and I'm just like, how does she look like the women that he wants?
Wow, that's deep.
How does she look like the women that he wants and he desires and he loves? Like, you know, like, I don't understand. It's like they had her even though I carried her.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? And so
that is so sad to look at your baby and see the image of the women that your husband has been cheating on you with. That shit is like mind-boggling to me. And then you're doing it on your own. You're by yourself. This man is at a condo, fucking off with every goddamn hotel in Hotlanta, and you're by yourself alone with 2 children, pregnant. She was manipulated, groomed, so to speak. Even though he's the same age as her, he still manipulated her. He still groomed her. he still molded her to be exactly what it was that he wanted. It's about time that Black women start being honest about the marriages that they're in. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Because me reading the comments to this video, I was like, what the? So everybody is just in a miserable ass marriage. In my personal experience, I don't see anybody that's happy and that's happily married. Everybody's cheating. Everybody's exhausted. They're in a mundane cycle. They're repeating the same things over and over again. Everybody's looking for excitement. Nobody really seems happily married. It's crazy. It's the first time experience. Yeah, she was fresh out the womb, y'all. And when I say fresh out the womb, I mean like young, like green. Like nobody had really liked her. She felt like an ugly duckling. So she had a boyfriend in high school, but that didn't really mean anything. Like he rocked her world. And she didn't think that she could do better. She was like obsessed with him. He was her God. She had no self-worth.
I had to work out.
Danae, you gotta let that sit. You can't, Lord Jesus. You said they had her even though you had her?
They had her even though I carried her. That's what I felt like for a long time. I had to really sit down and
because her skin tone represents the type of women that he would cheat on you with.
Yes. Yes. And so then it just played on the rejection and the abandonment and the not like choose me. What is there about me? Right? Our daughter even has everything that you like.
Oh, and here we go. Planted seeds of a mother being jealous of her daughter. I pray that she's able to work through that and sift through those feelings of resentment that she has toward her husband that seemingly trickled down to her daughter because of her daughter's complexion. I really hope that the 3 and 10 and 5 and 15 therapists that she has actually helps her to work through whatever it is that she has, because she also went on to say that she has a lighter complected daughter and that she has the darker skinned daughter. And I pray for those little girls that they don't get treated differently by their mom. I really do. And the fact, I guess this is a good step in the right direction because she was able to at least admit it. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. They gotta let some commercials play.
All these things are being attacked. And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, Satan has asked for permission to attack us. And there he has legal grounds and rights because this has all been, we've been doing our own thing in here. And so this is a different type of battle than the average person would think, or even the average Christian would think, to think like, oh, all these areas are being attacked. Like, get off of social media and go see a therapist. Well, the therapist is not going to save my mental and emotional state right now. Only Jesus is, So
you sat down, you recorded that video,
yes.
You didn't prep, you had, what was that? Some people say it's a bonnet, some people say it's a beret. Which one was it?
It was a beret. It's actually a hat.
Okay.
I had on a hat. That was the day I was having like morning sickness. I was just like exhausted, and it was like, we have to get this done though. Like there was an urgency in like, okay, we have to get this done. We have to get ahead of this. We don't have a PR person. Like we have to do something. So I'm like, okay, help me get through it. He made a video before me and him got on there, and I think he took that down because people were coming after him. But I was like, I had walked into the office while he was recording that, and basically it was like, okay, redo, but with us together, and so there wasn't a whole lot of prep into that. But after the fact, I was like, okay, let's prep. He bought this little media kit person, or I don't even know what you call it, but it's a person that helps you
content creator
prepare for these types of things. And just like coaching, like you got to sit up and you got to like
Oh, he
lean,
had one.
you got to
He had a
lean
media
forward,
training
you got to
person.
lean forward and, you know, like smile. You don't want to wear white on camera. And, you know, I'm like, what? You know, y'all know this is my first time sitting in front of anybody's camera. Like I haven't even spoken on camera.
You tell me y'all had a media training person there when y'all recorded that video?
No, not there. After that, he started investing in some of those things, and he started showing me videos of like Kobe Bryant and Vanessa when he was going through his little thing and how she was like rubbing his hand and consoling him.
Oh my God. Like this man is so full of himself. He didn't even give a fuck that she was having morning sickness and like not feeling good. He did not care. He like, oh, you just woke up, because she literally looked like she just rolled out of the goddamn bed. Like he didn't even say put some lip gloss, a little chapstick, nothing. He didn't give a damn about anything but his image and his career and his brand. But it was that way throughout their whole goddamn relationship. It was just always about him. He was just a star, and she was an extra, and a helpmate, and an employee. God damn.
And he was like, yeah, you gotta
Rub my hand.
You gotta, you know, like you see how she is. You gotta, and I'm like, okay, but I'm not an actor. I can't do that. And so that just caused a little bit of. I'm like, I can't do that. Like I'm doing good just sitting here. You know, seriously, like that's all I got for you. And I'm whole pregnant. I don't even know what to do. I never talked on camera before. I have like I don't even know what to do. So
And he didn't even give a men will embarrass you and humiliate you so much. They will throw you under the bus and roll you over with that motherfucker. They don't care. Oh my God. Earth is ghetto. It's so fucking ghetto. Y'all, I know it's not every single man in the world, but it's too many women with a similar story. It's too many. If you have an apple and it's mostly rotten, you're not going to take a bite out of it just because this little piece is not rotten. You're going to throw that motherfucker in the trash.
I did not get diagnosed clinically depressed outside of my postpartum.
Yeah.
Outside of my postpartum, which I got cleared and approved of all the times.
Yeah.
You know, I went through my little stint of that. I have not been diagnosed with any other mental illnesses or anything.
Good. So having the salvation worked, didn't it?
It did.
Come on, somebody. Because there's people that have been through less stuff that have lost their entire mind.
Complete mind. And we don't understand how important it is to really fight those things and not accept other people's reports about us, because it plants into our spirits. And then once we start believing then we become that. So as a man thinks, so is he. So if I start thinking, oh, I do have all these things wrong with me, then I mean, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on. Jesus said I'm healed and I'm whole, and this helmet of salvation is going to do something for me. I don't know what it's going to do yet.
Yeah.
But it's going to do something, because he said his word cannot lie and it will not return to him void. And that's all
honestly, like people rely on certain things to get them through storms and to pull them out of dark holes. And I thought she was batshit crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Me seeing her on this couch, on this yellow couch, really gave me a completely different outlook on who she actually is. We got to see her personality more. We got to see her actually look presentable and attractive, and she seemed poised and confident, and she seemed like she's kind of getting on the other side of things, you know. But the way that she presents on her Instagram is just like a crazy whacked out Bible thumper. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. And then they went on to talk about her cursing people. I don't want to play too much of this. We're trying to, get through. But they went on to talk about her cursing people. And remember, she was cursing us and saying, oh, I hope y'all, the wrath of God, and all type of famine and all types of stuff she was saying. But she really seems of sound mind. And if she would have presented like this, I think that people's criticism of her would have been different. And it's easy to be like, you're not supposed to care what people think. That is BS when you are a part of creating content. It matters. It does, to a degree. Clearly, you're going to have your people that rock with you and your people that don't. But I just think that if you would have given her a little more time to wrap her mind around what was going on and to present as this, I don't think that it would have been as hard for her with the storm and everything that came after being presented for the first fucking time, because nearly all of us thought that that man was single. I had absolutely no idea that he had a wife. I had absolutely no idea. Hey Mia, what's up, boo? Okay, let me get to, oh God, y'all, we gotta get to how they gotta, like, how he told her he wanted to divorce her, because this shit took me the fuck out of town. I was like, what? Got to be more careful.
Create an amazing.
Yo, I swear these men will humiliate you. They will embarrass you. They don't be giving a fuck. They really don't. And we just pour everything we got, heart, mind, body, soul.
Beg for bread.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole. I stand behind it. I stand firm. I do not regret what I said.
God. You stand on the word of God.
I do stand on it. He gave me words to say for a reason. I used it. He said the sword of the spirit is what?
Rightly divided.
The sword of the spirit is the word of God. And so I used the word of God, and apparently I shaked up a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. So you did the video. Did that help bring closeness to your marriage?
So we had, at that point, by the time I did that video, he had already sent me the text message talking about he wanted to end the marriage. So
hold on.
Yeah.
This lady did the video cursing the goddamn public in the internet streets for goddamn filth like a dog in the streets. After he texted her that he wanted a divorce. What?
That don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on. You didn't record a video after he already said he wanted a divorce.
I did.
Huh?
I did.
No pride. Where is your ego? Ooh. How did it not kick in? How? I guess she thought that would get in his good graces, or that she was trying to show him that she was willing to fight for him and she didn't care about what people were saying. It still didn't work. It didn't work. Nothing this lady did. She would have literally I feel like she would have done anything he asked her to do. And this is so sad. Oh my God.
So he sent you a text message saying he wanted a divorce, and then you went and sat and recorded a video to stand beside him?
I went because I knew that it was a spiritual attack. I didn't know that all what was going on his part. I knew he was acting weird. So I was like, okay, this is a spiritual attack. I'm feeling this like very hard. Like the scripture is running on me. So I was like, okay, let me see I'm gonna say the scripture. I'm gonna do it. And then after I did that, everything became like visible to her. Then I found out about the girls, the women. Then I found out about all these. I'm like,
we're talking about the women. You already knew about the women.
The other, there was more. I didn't know about all of them.
You knew about 11. So
I knew
you said
about
more
the
than 11.
I knew about the 11. There's more. There's more than that, because homegirl that had.
How could you take that? Oh my God. I just really don't understand. That shit would kill me. Like, if I'm in love with you and I give you my womb, my most prized possession, and I live with you, and I'm letting you have all of this anytime you want. I'm raising your children. I'm helping you run your fucking business. And you're going to step out with 20 and 111 and fucking 50,000 people? There's no way. Now I'm seeing red. Now I'm seeing red. See, this is what I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. It's red hot. It's red. I'm seeing red. That's why
had my name in her mouth was not on the list of the 11. So I don't know if he gave me the first starting 11 or the last starting 11 or the middle, but her name wasn't on it. So so
he told you he wanted a divorce when? And how did he tell you that?
September 29th, 2022. He sent me a text message saying that he was done
so
with
2022,
the marriage.
but the video was recorded in 2021.
No, the video was recorded in 2022.
The what's known as the Helmet of Salvation video?
Oh no, that was in 2021.
Oh, you talking about the cursing video?
The cursing video.
Okay,
yes.
so we done passed that.
Yeah.
I want to go back to how did y'all, after you recorded that video, we're gonna call it the Helmet of Salvation video. What did the marriage start looking like?
Oh, after that, we leaned in. I feel like we leaned in to each other. We had our spiritual counsel actually came closer. They were making house calls
Good.
to to us, bringing us stuff, talking to us individually. Um, and then and then there was some he started asking me questions like, when's the last time you were in love? Or yeah, in love with me. And I was like 2 years ago. Like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you right now. And in my mind, it makes sense why I'm not necessarily in love, but I do love you. And so that created a huge wedge between us. And that was about June 2021. Like, yeah, about
During that
June,
time, were y'all
July.
was there ever a season where you were just like,
That is so manipulative. How you gonna ask this woman when's the last time you've been in love with me when you cheating on her with every fucking body that got a coochie, and then you're gonna try to use that against her to further fuel the reason why you're going to continue to be a dog? Like, are we kidding? What? Y'all, stories like this is really giving just be a motherfucking cat lady. It's giving just be single. It's giving just have a little bit of peen on the side. Go on some dates, have you a nice time, get you a travel group. Because this shit right here. I cannot, y'all. I the fuck can't.
For that. And the next words out of his mouth was, or via text, should I say, was, I was done with us in this marriage after I said that. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is what forgiveness gives you.
you said, I forgive you.
No.
Recording on Zoom.
Y'all, she's kept trying to forgive this man. This is so sad. Like,
and then I want to know what scripture that's in.
He say there's a story about King David. He had multiple wives and even more concubines.
Okay, but
and the Bible called him a man after God's own heart.
Did we read the whole thing, or are we just reading the
we're gonna read what benefits me in this situation?
Okay, well,
so can you do this for me?
No. It's gonna be a hard no for me.
Oh God. And so what broke? He sent you a text message. You told me he sent the text message you saying he wanted a divorce. When was that?
That was September 29th, 2022.
And where were you when you received that text message?
We were both at home. He was upstairs. I was downstairs on the couch. I had just actually come back from, I did a freedom group where you basically, you're going through freedom with all these people. You're talking about stuff with a group of women and stuff like that, confidentiality. And we're talking about forgiveness. And I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to say, I forgive him for anything that I've been holding on to or has been coming out of me. I did that. I said, I forgive you. Anything like that I have been doing that has shown unforgiveness, I forgive you for that. And the next words out of his mouth was, or via text, should I say, was, I was done with us in this marriage after I said that. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is what forgiveness gives you.
You said, I forgive you of everything. And he said, I want out of the marriage.
Yes. Yes. Now, to spice it up, because I like spice. A couple days before that, about 2 days before that, we were intimate. And then the next day, he's like, this is leading up to the text message. The next day, he was like, I don't want to be intimate with you anymore for 2 months. I just want you to be completely whole and healed because I know you're still uncovering your rape trauma and all this stuff. And I was like, how does that make any sense? How's that helping us? We just got done talking to someone that said that we need to come closer together and that I need to be communicating to you whatever discomfort I do have, but I'm still able to do something, which I was doing stuff, So I was doing stuff. And so he's like, I don't even want that because it just feels like constant rejection. And I'm like, okay, well,
He said he felt rejected by you, and even though you were. So what do you
I
mean?
was accommodating in other ways. Even if it was like, okay, right now, like penetration is not like the best move right now, but I still care about pleasing you.
Yeah, so you'll
and
take
so
care of
I
him.
would do other things, right? And so it's just like I don't even want that, like it's just constant rejection. I'm just like, okay, well, this is about both of us, right? So I have to communicate to you like this is what's going on with me, and I'm like, I need help, I need deliverance. I'm speaking to such and such. You see me speaking to such and such, such and such. Like I'm trying to figure this thing out because this is important to me. Like I want to figure this out. And he's like, I want you to be completely whole. I don't want to do anything for 2 months. And then I was just like, okay. And I walked away. And then the next day, 2 days after that, then he sent me the text message. It said, I'm done with us in the marriage. And so it's just like, okay. And then the next day after that, he said he came to me in person and it was like, do you have any questions about my text message? And I was like, no.
What you respond? You just responded, okay.
Yeah. I said, okay, if that's what you want. And then the next day he made a video. He's wearing all brown. And it's like, if somebody says, okay, if that's what you want, it's manipulative. And I was like, oh, and then I commented on it. I was like, facts. I got blocked, I think.
All right. That's all we got for that. He blocked her on everything. She's blocked on all of his social media platforms. She has no way of contacting him. The last time she spoke to him was she saw him at their son's birthday party, which was the day before Mother's Day. She spoke about the post that he posted when he was like, oh, you showed up for the kids even when you couldn't show up for yourself. She said she was so confused about that. Like, was that for the image or was that for her? Because she's blocked on his social media, so she couldn't see. So clearly it was for his image. Derrick Jaxon is a piece of goddamn shit. He's demonic. He's wicked. He's evil. He's a scrub the ground ass ninja. He's a narcissist. He cares about nobody but himself. Danae Jaxon was an enabler. She's a doormat. She's a pick-me-sha in a marriage. And she has no self-esteem and no self-worth and no self-confidence and no regards or no self-respect. And I just feel really bad saying all of those things about her because even though it's true, and even though, we could say, choose, she didn't stand a fucking chance. She was not prepared for a man like him at all. She didn't feel like she even deserved him. So she was willing to do any and everything to keep him. And the fact that with all of that she did, everything that she took, even being publicly humiliated and embarrassed, putting herself in front of the camera, something that she never wanted to do, helping him to build his fucking brand and his business and his career, he still didn't fucking choose her. So this is my message to you, melanin rich woman. Put yourself first because these ninjas will not choose you. Okay? They will not. They will only choose themselves. If you are not going to serve them, if you're not going to lay down and take it, if you ain't going to let them cheat in peace, if you ain't going to pay the goddamn bills, if you ain't going to be the cleanup woman, if you're not doing it, then guess what? They don't have no use for you. They don't have no use for you. They will use you and abuse you and suck you dry and leave you looking like a fucking prune. Broke, busted, and disgusted. Sad. Self-esteem in shambles, even worse than it was before. Image in shambles. He had this lady looking batshit the fuck crazy. I thought she was a Looney Tune. I'm glad that she came out and did this because we got to actually see a different side of her that wasn't so churchified. We got to see that she was an actual person. We got to see that she actually knew what was going on, but she decided to take it because she just loved this. That was God for her. She worshiped him. Do not love these ninjas more than you love yourself because they will show you time and time again why you should not. They will play in your face. They will make you look crazy. They will gaslight you. They will alter reality to better suit their needs. And because, as Senji always say, we live in a black male worshiping culture, even when you're the victim, you will still get blamed and you will get shamed. It will always be your fault. It would always be, well, she should have looked better. She dressed fucked up. She didn't do this enough. She didn't do that enough. Well, what did she do to make him be a scrub the ground ass ninja? What did she do? What was her shortcomings? It's gonna always be your fault. So guess what? Fuck them. Put you first. Do you? Oof. Lord Jesus, be a fence. Be a fence. We're gonna send a prayer out to Danae. She need to be cursing Derrick. That's what she need to be saying. Them fucking cursing hexing scriptures that she was reading to us because we was trying to tell her, sis, you better run for the hills. You're looking the fuck crazy out here. That man don't care about you. Cursing us like a dog in the street. That man abused her. He used her. Hopefully, you know, she could continue to put herself back together and she could be a stand-up mom for her kids. And I just pray for the dark chocolate daughter that she has, that she doesn't treat her with bias and that she treats her as equally as she treats her other daughter. I really do. And hopefully they can find some common ground when it comes to co-parenting because he don't want her. At every turn, he showed her, bitch, I don't want you. You're just convenient. You're a doormat. If you're going to let me do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it and do it and do it. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. There was nothing that man could have done to make her leave him. And that's really sad. That's a sad existence to have. When you just don't give a fuck about yourself that bad that you will let a person do anything to you. Thanks for the super chat, Nikki. Well, did she get any monetary gain upon a divorce? I'm not even sure. I don't know, but I pray that she does. We could assume that she's going to get some type of alimony. And I mean, the way she worshipped him, I wouldn't be surprised if he made her sign some type of paperwork saying that she won't get shit, but maybe child support. I wouldn't be shocked. It seemed like she would just do anything for that man. And a lot of us, and I'm saying us because I'm a melanin rich woman, do any fucking thing just to say we got a man. My man, my man, my man, my man. That's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy. So fucking thirsty to say we got a man that we literally will let a man take a shit in our mouths and swallow it. I know that's disgusting. I went a little far. But that's how bad it is. We got to do better. We have to fucking stand up and be the change that we want to see. And we got to call each other out too. We do. We do. Because at the end of the day, public shaming need to come back. Y'all, we need to be shaming bitches with shame. 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 Do y'all remember? y'all seen, not, what the fuck is it called? The phenomenon, the movie that had Cersei in it. The Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones, when they were shaming her in the motherfucking street. We need to be shaming bitches. Shame. Shame. Throwing rocks and shame. That's what we need to do because enough is enough. Shame me. If I told y'all, if I come up here looking the fuck crazy, shame me. Cuss me like a dog in the street. We need to bring it back because we looking the fuck bad out here. And we don't get the privilege like other women to just be a one-off. We don't get the privilege to be just one. We don't have that privilege. It's unfortunate. But one of us do something, it's all of us. Yeah, Game of Thrones. We need to be shaming. We need to shame each other. Do not coddle. Do not be like, oh, it's all right, sis. Oh, no, shame me. Don't let my scrub the ground ass ninja come to the cookout. Tell me I can't come. Disinvite me. Don't let my scrub the ground ass baby daddy come to the. No, he don't need to be at Thanksgiving. Excommunicate my ass. Maybe that'll help. Tell me I'm not invited. Tell my man he can't come. My man, he can't come. Don't invite us. That's to nothing. Because we got to do something. You go over to these other cultures and these other communities, they don't play that. What? Maria and them can't bring certain type of shit. Huh? What? She was a willing participant, guys. She went through a lot. A number was done on her mental. But it's just, it breaks my fucking heart that if Derrick Jaxon didn't file for divorce, that lady would have still been there enduring all of that abuse. It's really sad. We gotta really love ourselves that much more. And for those of you in the chat that have daughters, love on your daughters, pour into your daughters. Tell her she's beautiful every time you talk to her. My mom does that. When I call her, she'd be like, hey, beautiful. Self-esteem and confidence building starts in the home. All right, let me see what y'all saying for a little bit. Then I'm going skedaddle, skedaddle, skedaddle. Shame him. Yes, shame him too. Yes. Yes, I do that to mine all day, every day. Yes. Love doesn't mean pain. Be free. Yes. Hey, Media New Post. I haven't seen you up here in a minute. What's up, Janetta? My mom and dad do that. My dad says, hey, pretty, whenever I talk to them. Yes, you gotta start confidence building early on. Because if she felt like she was beautiful, if she felt like she was pretty, if she just felt worthy, and also we gotta be, I'm not a mom. I always say this because, but for those of you who are, just really be mindful of the type of example that you're setting for your daughters. It matters what she sees. We always talk about daddy issues. No, the relationship that you have with your mom and how the relationships you see your mom in has way more of an impact on how you navigate through the world and how you allow people to treat you. Your mother is your first example. Of course, your dad teaches you how a man is supposed to treat you, but your mom shows you your self-worth. She shows you how you deserve to be treated. You see your mom getting ran through the mud and getting treated like scrubbing the ground with a ninja, then chances are you're either going to grow up to be the complete opposite of that, or you're going to grow up to be exactly that. We have to be the change that we want to be. I feel like we need to bring back public shaming. That sounds terrible, but I do that myself as well. I don't have a biological family. Oh, choosing boots. Facts. Where's her father or brothers? They don't want to give him a beat down. A lot of times you give the woman will go and testify against you in court. And she's still gonna stay with her scrub the ground ass ninja. It just be like that. But hopefully Danae continues on her healing journey. She looks absolutely great in this video. We just gonna, all of the love bugs, all of us over here, we gonna continue to send her love. And my heart look real crookedy, but that's all right. We're gonna continue to send her love. I've enjoyed this conversation and this interaction immensely. I love y'all so much. Thanks for joining me. 132 of y'all in the chat. Y'all better have paid my motherfucking entry fee. Don't play with me, play with your mama. Y'all better have clicked the like button. Let me see where the likes at, because y'all got me fucked up. Hold on. Okay, we doing good on the likes. All right. Y'all doing a good job. Ooh, y'all doing a good job. This was good. Thanks, Thrift Queen. That means a lot coming from a Capricorn. Y'all real critical. I like the good stream. Thank you guys so much. Show up as her, be her. Show up as him, be him. Don't let nobody play in your motherfucking face. You deserve more. You deserve the best. You deserve everything you want and more. Seriously. Be the change that you want to see. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Bye, love folks.